stuff. I've kind of been dragging my feet a little just because I haven't worn much makeup lately. I've just been lazy. And my skin looks super crazy. I just got a facial yesterday and they did tons of extractions and I have just redness pretty much all over. So I thought it was a good time to go ahead and test this foundation, see how the coverage is, and see how it works on my dry skin, because that's something I've been really afraid of. Now I did go ahead and prime my skin with the Smashbox Photofinish Primer Oil, which I've been using recently, so it has had plenty of time to absorb in. And I also went ahead and primed with the Smashbox Photofinish Primer. This is the green one. So this is Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. The shade that I got is 120. And after watching a lot of reviews, I know that after the foundation sets and after it dries, it is a little darker, so I'm kind of scared, but let's go ahead and try it out. I'm gonna shake it up. Pump a little bit on my hand. It's a lot runnier than I had anticipated. I'm going to work in small sections on my face because I know this is a more matte foundation and it does tend to dry and set, so I don't want anything to go crazy, so I'm going to work in kind of small sections. And today I'm going to be using what I always use. This is the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I always use it. Looks like a good color match wet. We'll see what it looks like when it dries. I'm hoping the pigmentation comes through because my face is red. I'm trying not to form too many opinions yet, you know. I feel like it's too soon. I haven't noticed the color changing at all. Seems the same. It does have good coverage, but it's not like covering any of the scabs that I have on my face right now that are like healing. I'm going in with a little bit more, which is a little risky. I can see my face in the viewfinder and it looks kind of ghostly. But we can always warm that up with bronzer, so I'm not too concerned. I'd rather it be too light than too dark. For concealer, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, of course. And since the foundation really didn't cover too much of the pigmentation, I still see some like purple showing through these two blemishes, and that scab is still showing. So I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light, which is a little darker, and just tap that right on there. I've had this Real Techniques, these little like tiny sponges for like a month and I haven't used it yet, so I'm going to try it right now just to see. I don't hate it. I'm going to set those highlighted areas with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to try using this little baby sponge as well. The foundation does still feel a tiny bit tacky, which surprises me. It did transfer my hands a little bit just now. But I'm going to go ahead and add bronzer and stuff because I don't want to add any powder. It just hasn't fully set. I did use a thicker, you know, layer, but it needed to happen. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is looking a little bit rough these days. To add a little bit more contour to the face, I'm taking my Tarte Pro Glow palette and taking the shade Sculpt. Just right there where I want to hollow that cheek out a little bit more. So if I'm being honest with myself, I kind of knew the foundation may not work out for me just because I do have more dry to normal skin. This is a matte foundation. I don't prefer matte foundations, but I just wanted to step out of my comfort zones and try something different. While I'm still gathering my thoughts on the foundation, let's go ahead and skip over to what I knew I was probably going to like, the highlighters. So this is the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Starstruck. So I'm not a giant fan of cream foundations, liquid foundations. They always break up my foundation. I was trying to be careful when I set that under eye concealer with powder that it didn't go too far over this way because I wanted to kind of keep that area still a little moist. But yeah, so far I really like the packaging. These little matchsticks are really cool because they like magnetize together, so in case you end up liking them, you can buy multiples and they can kind of sit on your vanity like all kind of bunched up, which is cute. But this is what it looks like. It is very pink. It's very champagne and it seemed to go the best with my skin tone. Now I don't want to do like a direct swipe with this because I feel like it definitely will move whatever is underneath. So I'm just going to take some and I guess just maybe put it on with my finger. So let's get it nice and warmed up. It's pretty. It is probably the most like metallic finished highlight in cream form that I have ever tried. Yeah, it's really pretty. And it doesn't seem to be messing up anything underneath it so far. I like this so far, but I am really wanting to layer it with the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo. Really love the packaging on this. So like I talked about in my last haul where I got this, one side is going to be a more like matte highlight. It's not all the way matte, it still is going to have a sheen to it. And then you have a more like metallic finish, which obviously I'm going to be putting right on top of this already metallic cream highlighter just to see how intense we can get this. And then I'll play around with the more subdued one in a second. So let's go ahead and go in with the Crystal Fire, which is the more intense one. And I'm using this on a Morphe R31. I really like this for highlight recently. Okay. I'm pretty impressed by that. I think it is quite nice. I can't say with the matchstick in the shade Starstruck, it is extremely ashy. It works for me, but I would think that anybody kind of darker than me, especially medium skin tones, may not like this. I think you might want something a little less ashy. Could be wrong. I mean, I've been pale my whole life, so I don't really know how you medium skin gals, you know, think. But that's just my thoughts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and kind of finish the rest of my makeup, let the rest of this set in, finish everything off with some setting spray, and come back with my final thoughts. So now I'm back with my eye makeup completed, and I'm going to throw on some blush. I'm just going to take this Smashbox blush palette and take a little bit of True Blush and highlight Berry. Or actually, no, highlight Coral. You might have thought I forgot, but I didn't. I'm going back in with this Kilowatt Duo highlight from the Fenty Beauty. And I'm going to go in with the more, like, less intense side to do more of my center highlighting to see how that goes. It's in the shade Lightning Dust. It's really pretty. Put this on my Cupid's bow, upper lip area. This one is less ashy, like it almost shows a little bit of like pigment on my upper lip because I'm so fair. I almost want to throw it over my highlight because I almost feel like my highlight is too ashy for this look. Let's try it. A little bit. Almost forgot to contour my nose. Need to do that. that. For my nose, as always, I'm using the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten Powder Foundation in the shade Medium. I'm going to go ahead and set my whole face with the Smashbox Photofinish Primer Water. I feel like I'm using a lot of Smashbox today, which is odd. It's like camel spitting at me because it's almost gone. Let's also go in with these highlights on my, what are these called? Collarbones? Yes. I'm going to go in with the more intense one. Ooh. So for lips, I'm going to use what I've been using for like ever now. You guys are probably tired of it, but I just can't find another like lip combo that works for my pale skin. But I have been using a different lip pencil. So this is the NYX Lip Liner in the shade Natural. That just kind of gives me a guideline to make sure I don't go too crazy with the overlining. Then I'm going to go in with Celebrity Skin. Actually, I like using Mannequin. Where is that? I usually use Mannequin, but we'll use Celebrity Skin. Just a little bit darker. And in the center, I'm going to top it with the Too Faced Melted Matte Lipstick in the shade Child Star. I'm just going to kind of tap that all together. Alright guys, I'm trying to conclude exactly what I feel about all this makeup from Fenty Beauty right now. From a distance, bomb. The overall coverage is pretty good. It didn't cover some of that like crazy pigmentation I had, but I get it. That's probably pretty typical. You would just have to color correct that. To be honest, it's not as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to look a lot more dry and crusty. It's hard to say because my skin is in such poor condition right now compared to what I'm used to. I do have a lot of texture going on. I just had my face extracted yesterday, so there's a lot of like angriness and scabs and just, it's not a good time. With all that in consideration, it's not that bad, but I do feel like my face kind of looks like an orange peel. I feel like it's showing like every little bit of pore and texture. I don't think it would be very forgiving, you know, if you don't have the best skin, which currently that is me. I would really like to mix this in with my like go-to always use foundation, which is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, just to give it a little bit more of a matte feel, maybe a little bit more coverage, even though I love the coverage of that Too Faced foundation. As far as the shade, I probably could have went with a different shade, but after I have bronzer and all that stuff on, I'm not hating this, and it'll probably be nice for winter time, so I may not return this. I might hold on to this, surprisingly. I feel like that's a very confusing review, but I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I'm going to keep trying it, but it did exceed my expectations. I will say that. My expectations were pretty low. Okay, the highlighters, as anticipated, I love. I think they're amazing. I really love the like pack of punch that it gives without having to put on so much product. I don't know how long this Kilowatt palette would last. They're kind of small pans, and I really do prefer the more metallic one to the soft matte one. And with the matchstick, I was actually very impressed. I'm not a kind of person to use like a cream highlight at least by itself, but it is a very nice kind of layering item. I'm curious to see how the highlight would perform by itself, the powder highlight, without this as a base, but I think they both work probably great independently. Let's twist this up to see how much product we have in this stick. This is how much you have. It is a thicker stick. I will leave all the items and the prices and links to where you can buy them in the description box if you are interested. But those are my initial thoughts of the stuff that I got from Fenty Beauty. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. I enjoyed finally being able to play with these things and will continue to incorporate them in my makeup routine, which my makeup routine has been very like not impressive recently. I need to really get up my game. Like I've talked about in previous videos, I've just been really kind of concentrated on fitness and getting my body right and all that. So like when you wake up at 5 a.m. and you're going to the gym, you're not like really trying to like throw on a bunch of makeup before you go to work, but I need to get it together, okay? Please feel free to leave any requests for any videos in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. But until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye. I feel like this shirt's like kind of weird right now. Like it doesn't know like where it wants to be. It doesn't know. And I don't know. For concealer, of course, I'm going to use This is a Fenty Beauty Matchstick Shimmer Skin Stick. What? That's a mouthful. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Too Faced... No. Why do I keep saying Born This Way for everything? Would you like to give your professional thoughts?
Look the other way.
It's bad.
There's a line in your makeup right here.
Where's that?
See it?
Looking pretty hot, boo.
When that freaking Smashbox setting spray that's like almost out was like camel spitting on my face, it left a line right there. So we're just not going to talk about it. So yeah, it's not that bad. Not that great, but not that bad. Really not that bad.